Hey guys, this is Erin Manuel with week 4 video discussion, and this week we're talking about fake news. One thing that's kind of a big divide, especially in my life right now, is the topic of whether you should get your kids vaccinated or not. I don't have kids of my own, but I have friends who are starting to have kids, and I have family members who have kids, and each one of them have their own opinions and whether they should or shouldn't vaccinate their kids. And so it's interesting to see their side of the story. But I found an article. It's on medicalnewstoday.com. I'll post the link below. It was medically reviewed by Alan Carter, PharmD, on June 4th, 2019. And it was by Lana Burgess. I probably butchered those names, but again, I'm posting this, so y'all will be able to read it yourselves. And it's called Debunking the Anti-Vaccination Myths. And basically, it's just going over myths and facts about vaccinations. I know it says reading blogs or social media content suggesting that vaccinations may be harmful can be concerning for parents and caregivers who want best for their children. Conspiracy theories that link vaccines to chronic conditions may cause them to question whether vaccinations are safe. And basically it says that this article explores the questions that have been, like the myths that have been raised, and it discusses like the origins and what science has to say about it. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you guys, but just some interesting things that I found. And again, I'm not falling on one side or the other. It's just what I personally found interesting. And the first question is, why do we use vaccinations when disease rates are so low? And that pretty much answers itself. It's basically saying we give vaccines to kids to prevent other diseases from making a full circle. So the vaccines that used to be spreadable are now prevented because of these vaccines, but because parents aren't vaccinating as much, now these diseases have are making like a full circle back around. Then it goes into another hot topic, which I've heard about a lot, is can vaccines cause autism? And it says, according to a research review by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, there is no valid scientific evidence linking the MMR vaccine to autism. And again, this is just what I'm reading. You guys might have your own opinions, so don't hate me on this. This is just the article I picked because, again, it is a divide in my life with my friends and my family that do have kids. Then it talks about natural immunity versus vaccination itself. So a lot of people are leaning more towards like the natural, like essential oil stuff, things like that. Do vaccines contain unsafe toxins? It talks about that. And then it gives tips and advice at the very end. It says how to read online health content. And it kind of gives like some hints and tricks to find out whether a source is trustworthy. And it says, does it come from a health organization, government source, or reputable health publisher? And it says these websites may have less bias than private companies or health blogs. Private companies may have vested interests in particular products, and some authors may not fact-check their content. It says, does it link to scientific evidence contained in primary sources? And then it goes into trustworthy content is well referenced. For example, it might link to recent scientific studies in reputable journals? And is it written in a balanced way? So quality content considers both sides of the argument. So that's one way it's giving advice on how you can tell if an article is true or not. I know there's so many blogs out there nowadays, and I know I even read somewhere, and again, I don't know if it's true or not, that Facebook is starting to block this particular subject. Like it's starting to block like this articles that have been written about it, just because there is such a divide on it. So that's what I found on fake news, and I think it's really interesting people having their own opinions on this. Like I said, I don't have my own opinions on it because I don't have kids of my own, but I do have people in my life who are very opinionated. So I figured I would just do research on it. So thank you guys for watching and hope you guys have a Merry Christmas.